I just got back from the RIU Palace Pacifico. This is Puerto Vallarta's newest adults-only all-inclusive hotel. I'm calling it the Goldilocks of all-inclusive resorts. It wasn't too sleepy or quiet, but also not a total party resort. It was perfectly in between. I recently spent a week there, and in this video, I'm covering everything you need to know about this resort. Things like how to get there, the rooms, the pools, the beach, dining and drinks, the cost, and whether or not Elite Club is worth it, and the best excursions and more. In 2023, they shut down for a few months to do a full renovation and then reopened as adults only in December 2023. This resort is advertised as being located in Puerto Vallarta, but it's actually in Nuevo Vallarta. To get here, it's about 25 to 30 minutes from the airport, and you can easily take a taxi for about $30, or if you don't have too much luggage, you can walk across the pedestrian bridge and grab an Uber, which is what we did, and it was only $14. You can also arrange a private transportation company ahead of time. This is always fun to have someone waiting for you with your name on a sign and maybe cold beverages in the vehicle waiting for you as well. I've left a link in the description for the airport transportation that I've used in the past. They have great prices and are always on time. Check-in was easy and breezy. I do recommend checking in on the app before your arrival though to save a bit of time. We checked in at 1 p.m. but our room wasn't ready till 3, but they still gave us our wristbands and we were able to enjoy all the amenities while we waited for our room. Also, a lot of people ask about day passes, which they do offer. It's 2,500 pesos, so about $150 USD or $200 Canadian, and that's from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. The hotel itself is built in a U shape, so the lobby is at the top of the U with the oceanfront rooms above it and 2 wings on either side of a courtyard. This leads out towards the pool decks and then the beach and ocean. Absolute paradise. Okay, now let's go check out the rooms. Hola, come on in. Okay, before I show you the rest of the room, we're gonna check out the view. We had a junior suite with a partial ocean view, and we were on the 2nd floor, and as you can see, not even being that high up, we still had a great view of the sea. All the rooms are freshly renovated, they're nice and modern. We had a little seating area and a king-size bed and lots of charging outlets right beside the beds, which I loved. The front entryway was spacious and had lots of closet space with a safe, bathrobes, and a full-length mirror, which I always appreciate. The bathroom had a nice walk-in shower with a rainfall shower head, and they also had separate shampoo, conditioner, and body wash. For those of you packing carry-on, there were double sinks, a hairdryer, and a normal toilet. I'm showing you this because people always ask me what the toilets are like in Mexico. All the rooms also have this little mini bar area with liquor dispensers and a mini fridge. So it comes with some beers, cold water, and soft drinks. It's also restocked daily. Along with these 1.5 liter bottles of water, every day we got 3 or 4. There's a small coffee maker, and that comes with the little built-in coffee filter packs. The coffee wasn't bad, it wasn't great, it was your classic hotel room coffee. I tried it once, and I'll say that was enough, because you can just walk down to the lobby coffee bar and order any type of coffee you want, or you can order room service. It's all included. And one more shot of the balcony where I had at least one Americano or cappuccino every single morning here in paradise. Not bad, not bad. And since I don't want this video to be crazy long, I did write a full blog post that has way more details than what I could fit in this video. It's about 5,000 words, but I've broken it up into sections and tried to answer every single question I had before choosing to book at this resort. So definitely take a look there for more information. Now, when you're in Mexico, it's all about pool time and the beach, this resort absolutely nailed it. There are a trio of pools to choose from, and they all have a different vibe, anywhere from laid back to socializing. We had no problem getting loungers at 9 or 10 a.m., but there are some premium spots that do get snagged up pretty early. The quiet pool had the most amount of loungers surrounding it. Here at the quiet pool, there's no music, and so it's best suited for those who want to read, sunbathe, nap, or just calmly socialize with others. There's no swim-up bar here, but there are poolside servers. You can also use small floaties in this pool. Then we have the swim-up bar pool. There's music here, and it can get a little rowdy, but in the week that we were there, it was nothing crazy, just everyone having fun and socializing. The pool itself is quite shallow, and I actually appreciated that because my hair didn't get wet. And I loved that there were these bar tops and bistro sets built into the pool, as well as a bench that surrounded the whole perimeter. Some days in the afternoon, it would get a little bit crowded at the swim-up bar, and I think this is mostly because it's shaded there the entire day, but if you tip your bartenders well and show them some love, you'll never wait for a drink. And they did a pretty good job at remembering what we drank all week. This is why I recommend using Mexican pesos instead of US dollars, because the bills are plastic and waterproof. And then we have the activities pool, which is the smallest of the three pools, but they had lots of activities going on throughout the week. Things like foam parties, volleyball, water polo, flip-flop flipping contests, water aerobics, and more. You can check the full schedule for the week on the RIU app so that you don't miss any of your favorite activities. And that leads us to the beach, which I think is one of the best parts about this resort. The beach itself is wide with a large private area for guests of the hotel. There are tons of loungers available, and many of them are actually under the shade of the palm trees. If you do want an umbrella for your beach lounger, there are vendors who will come up to you and rent you one. I think it's about 150 pesos for the day. There was drink service on the beach, but if you plan to hang out here for most of your stay, I would recommend bringing one of your own insulated tumblers so that your drink is bigger and stays cold, since I found the service wasn't as fast or as frequent as compared to by the pool. As far as the sand, it's soft and it's light and golden in color, and the water is very swimmable. It's actually really shallow for quite a ways out. And the best part, there is no seaweed on this side of Mexico. The water isn't super clear or turquoise like the Caribbean, but it is still pretty nice. And it's very safe for swimming as there's no undertow here. The waves can get a little choppy, but it really depends on the day. Generally speaking, the waves were a little calmer in the morning and then got bigger into the afternoon. Okay, so if you have done any research at all about staying at the RIU Palace here, you've probably read that you have to go for a massage on the beach, and I can confirm, yes, you absolutely have to do that. I just finished a 1-hour massage. I probably still have lines all over my face, my hair is a mess, but that's how you know it was good. It was incredible. I paid $35 USD for a 60 to 70 minute massage, and it was phenomenal. So when you come down to the beach, just take a left and you'll see all the different colored massage tents. I think they're all the same. I think they're all about $35 USD. You might be able to negotiate if it's not too busy. They'll do anything you want. If you want a relaxing massage, deep tissue, anything in between, they can make it happen. As far as other amenities, there is a gym on site. It was okay. There are 2 treadmills, a couple of ellipticals, a spin bike, some cable machines, and a dumbbell area with 2 benches. It's quite small and the equipment is definitely well used, but it's certainly enough to get a workout in. I found it got pretty hot in there and it was definitely busy between the hours of 9 to 11 a.m. But you're on vacation, so who works out anyway? For evening entertainment, it's going to be your classic all-inclusive resort shows. Personally, I could take them or leave them, but we did catch a couple shows. One night was a Latin night, and another night was the Michael Jackson show, and I will say the performers were excellent. There was also live music a couple of nights, and also a karaoke night, and that was actually super fun. One of the best entertainment features of staying at a RIU property, though, is their famous RIU parties. At this resort, the RIU Party is every Friday night, and the theme alternates each week between white and neon. So we were there for the white night, and in the lobby of the hotel, they had face painters offering white and sparkly face paint for those that wanted it. And the party is actually at one of the sister resorts, the RIU Jalisco, but there's a bus that runs every 15 minutes, and you can take your drink on board, and everything goes pretty smoothly. The party itself goes from 7 to 11 p.m., and we found that until 9 o'clock, it was more geared towards families. After 9 o'clock, they switched the music to be closer to like the latest hits and nightclub music, although the party is for all ages. Okay, now let's get to the food. This is a pretty subjective topic, and unless you're staying at a bottom-of-the-barrel, low-budget resort or somewhere ultra-luxurious and expensive, most food at any all-inclusive resort is going to be pretty good to pretty okay. And so to some people, it will be amazing, and to some people, it'll be nothing to write home about. Now, this is a RIU property, but it is the Palace class. So overall, in my opinion, I would say the food was not too bad and pretty high quality. I honestly enjoyed the food all week long. It was quite rich though. Many dishes were a little oily or pretty buttery, so after about 4 or 5 days, it does start to feel pretty heavy. Or maybe that's because of the tequila shots. I will say though that there is so much variety here, like almost too much variety. So I think if you don't enjoy the food here, you just didn't find the right dishes. One feature I really loved about this resort is that there are no dinner reservations required. So when you're ready for dinner, you just show up, and if there's a wait, they'll let you know approximately how long, and then they give you a buzzer for when your table is ready. I thought this was a great system. So we would go check in for a restaurant, and then head over to the lobby to find the specialty drink cart and socialize, or grab a drink and watch the sunset till our table was ready. Okay, now let's talk about the restaurants and what I thought. Starting with the main buffet. Sometimes buffets can fall short on freshness and variety, but this was definitely not the case here. The main buffet is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day. I honestly loved the food here at the buffet. There was a ton of variety for every meal, and if anything was picked over, the staff were very quick to replenish it. For breakfast, there was things like an omelet station, a pancake and waffle station, birria tacos, all kinds of eggs, bacon and sausages, different scrambles, fresh fruits, juices, pastries, bread, cereals, chilaquiles, and other Mexican dishes. Lunch and dinner always had Mexican staples, as well as American staples, and things like pizza, burgers, chicken fingers, and fries, as well as lots of seafood, salads, sushi, cheeses, meats, and veggies prepared all different ways. And several days of the week, they actually had a theme where they have a few extra dishes, like they had a spices night, a Mexican night, and Oriental night. They also had a few gluten-free options, vegetarian options, and some low-calorie labeled desserts. As for attire, for breakfast and lunch, women can wear beach cover-ups, and men can actually wear tank tops and muscle shirts. The steakhouse is the most popular restaurant here, so I recommend planning to visit early on in your trip in case you do want to go a second time. This was also the longest we had to wait to get in, close to about an hour. But the menu included things like surf and turf and filet mignon, burgers and chicken, along with sides like mac and cheese, fries, and roasted carrots. And there was nothing that was an upcharge here. Everything was included, including the lobster. For dessert, we tried the brownie and the cookie ice cream sandwich, and that was actually the better dessert. The Mexican restaurant offered classic options like enchiladas, fish tacos, and fajitas, and those were all really great. But I especially loved the desserts here. I sense a theme going on. We tried the churros and the 3 milk cake. So if you do eat at this restaurant, I highly recommend getting both and dipping your churros in the cake. I enjoyed Kyoto, the Asian restaurant. This would probably be my second or last choice of the 5 a la carte restaurants. For some reason, I was expecting a little more Japanese food, like sushi, but it was actually closer to Chinese food. It was good though, but it's all small plates, so you can order a bunch of different things to try. There were only 2 of us for this meal, so I think it would be better if you were with a group. Cristal was the big surprise. All three of us loved it way more than we thought. This is what the resort calls their fusion gourmet restaurant, and the menu is kind of a mix between a little bit French, a little Mediterranean, and a little American. The lobster bisque was rich and delicious, and the lobster steak tartare was served with creme fraiche. I would probably have eaten this as my main course. It was so good. We also tried the braised short ribs and the octopus. For dessert, we had the coffee creme brulee, which was good, except Chris is a bit of a creme brulee purist and didn't really care for the added coffee flavor. I had the Ferrero Rocher dessert, and if you're a chocolate lover, I don't need to say anything else, just get it. The Italian restaurant wasn't bad, but I would say it was maybe like a tier higher than Olive Garden. It offered all the classics like fettuccine alfredo, chicken parmesan, lasagna, and spaghetti. For dessert, I had the tiramisu, which was probably the best part of the meal. There's a 24-hour sports bar here, and it actually had pretty good food. It was table service though, so not self-serve like some RIU properties. So you could order things like nachos, mac and cheese, burgers, burritos, but the star is definitely the shrimp tacos. I thought the drinks were phenomenal here at this resort. So there's a coffee bar located in the lobby from 7 a.m. until 11 p.m. Not only do they serve coffee and espresso-based drinks, there were small food items throughout the day, things like fresh squeezed juice, pastries, muffins, wrapped sandwiches, and later in the day they had desserts like cheesecake, carrot cake, and chocolate cake. So every single day I got an Americano or iced coffee, and it's all included. And then the daiquiri is the lobby bar, which is open from 10 a.m. until 1 a.m. Here you can get any kind of drink, and what's great is that there's also a full drink menu on the app if you don't know what to order. They do specialize in martinis though, and I would highly recommend to get the chocolate or the chocolate mint martini. And every evening in the lobby, they offer what the RIU calls a special mixology experience. So there's a bartender who mixes up a signature cocktail, and they have a different one every single night. This was so fun to grab a fancy cocktail and then go watch the sunset before heading to dinner. Okay, the Elite Club, is it worth the extra money? This was a common question I saw online before we stayed here. So here's what you get with the Elite Club at the RIU Palace Pacifico. At check-in, I asked how much it was to upgrade to Elite Club, and the lady at the front desk told me it was $130 USD per night, and that was for 2 people. I had heard online that it was more expensive than that, so I don't know if this was a lost in translation thing, or maybe it depends on occupancy. Either way, it was about an extra $1,000 for the week for the 2 of us to have Elite Club access. In the end, we decided not to go forward with it. But I think Elite Club would be worth it if you enjoy eating dinner at a particular time, maybe like prime time, 6 p.m. Also, if you don't care to eat breakfast at the buffet and would prefer to be served, and if you want the best oceanfront room available, as well as prefer to relax on a private cabana bed by the beach. If you want to head into Puerto Vallarta, which you absolutely should, you can take a taxi into downtown and the Malecon area, and that's going to take about 40 minutes. If you take a taxi and want to do the whole Malecon, I recommend getting dropped off at the beginning, which is Hotel Rosita, and then you can walk the whole thing. You could spend an entire day or simply the afternoon here, but make sure you stay for sunset. I recommend strolling the Malecon, maybe taking a walking taco tour in the Zona Romantica, and visiting the river market. I have tons of videos and blog posts about things to do in Vallarta, as well as information to help you plan your trip. So I'll leave all that info in the comments. Another great part about this resort's location is the fact that you can also walk into Bucerias, which is a beautiful little beach community with colorful streets, fun beach bars, and it's a little easier to navigate than Vallarta. Again, in my blog post, I have directions on how to get there and a listing of my favorite bars and restaurants I would recommend you visit. I highly recommend taking at least one excursion or more when staying at the RIU Palace Pacifico because you're close to so many amazing experiences in this part of Mexico. So here are my recommended excursions in order of preference. Rhythms of the Night is not only the most popular excursion, but it's great if you don't want to be away from the resort for a full day since it's more of an evening experience. You'll head out on a catamaran with a full open bar and arrive at a private cove. You'll watch a fantastic Cirque du Soleil style show and then have candlelit dinner on the beach. Next is the Natural Hot Springs Tour. This is my top recommendation for a full day tour from the resort for something more unique and off the beaten path. especially if you need a day out of the sun, maybe take a break from drinking and eating all the resort food. This is a small group tour where you'll visit a local town, sample some coffee, and visit a market, and then arrive at the hot springs, where your guides will also cook you up an amazing lunch. And then before heading back to the resort, you'll stop for a 1-hour massage on the beach, and this is all included in the price. If you do end up booking this experience, make sure you tell them Aly Smalls sent you, and they'll take really good care of you. You can also do excursions to Yalapa, where you'll cruise through the bay, go snorkeling, and visit the picturesque fishing village where you can take a hike to a waterfall or enjoy the beach bars. Again, I have tons more recommendations on my channel and travel blog for more ideas. Also, this video is not sponsored. Chris and I paid about $2,400 to stay here for 7 nights, which I think is a pretty good deal. So I'll put a link in the description of how you can book a stay here as well. So far, the best rates I have found are on Expedia, which is where we booked, and Planet. One thing to note is that you might not actually get the best deal by booking a package through the RIU website. All RIU packages are actually handled third-party by Expedia, so sometimes you can find better prices for your dates when you book through Expedia or looking at other competitors like Planet or even Booking. So it definitely pays to shop around for prices. That's going to be all for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.